hand it back to Stan. He's going to be chatting with Sharlene Jerome, who's the marketing manager at Sensoria Health. So Stan, I will hand it back to you.
Outstanding. Thank you, Amy. And what a great conversation and phenomenal second hour. And we are bringing it into the third hour here. We're really excited to kick things off with Sensoria, and then continue with Sam Shaw from Samsung, and then Tiffany Wu from 7Wire, and wrapping it up with not only Stephen from General Catalyst, one of the world's largest venture capital firms, but also, and especially leading digital healthcare, but also Chris Narayan from Medikarma, the avatar company, AI avatar company in healthcare that we have come to see some tremendous growth on. And as we kick things off, let's talk to Sharlene for a minute. Sharlene, first of all, if you could just give everybody a quick 1-minute thumbnail on your background and what you do, that would be great. You're on mute, Sharlene.
Hi there. Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Sharlene Jerome. I'm the marketing manager for Sensoria Health. My background is I have an MBA from Texas Christian University with an emphasis in marketing. I did corporate marketing as well as I taught as an adjunct professor at Western International University, both undergraduate and graduate marketing classes.
That's fantastic. And tell everyone a little bit about, again, we're talking today at the lab and in this symposium about technology, and as you know, the tech threads that we're seeing, adoption come into play here. And obviously you're a marketing manager at Sensoria, a leading digital health company that's seeing a nice amount of adoption increases across the ecosystem. And we'd love to hear more about how you've been able to use marketing in wearables and health tech, and what kind of strategies you've deployed, and what kind of challenges that you've seen, and with AI and smart clothing. So maybe let's kick it off with that.
Sure, absolutely. So from a marketing perspective, we recently launched an article on LinkedIn. It was called Harnessing the Power of AI and the Emergence of Beneficial Intelligence. What that means is that we at Sensoria Health are developing beneficial intelligence by leveraging both advanced algorithms, data analytics, and artificial intelligence, so that could empower researchers and healthcare systems to be able to analyze vast amounts of data, explore patterns, and then give quantified metrics. That's just one example of what we've been doing in this space. Sensoria specifically, what we have to deliver this beneficial intelligence is a truly wearable technology platform. We offer remote patient monitoring capabilities, and we have data analytics and predictive models so that we can not only improve outcomes, but really innovate in patient care and personalizing the healthcare industry.
Which is so important, because without a healthcare interface that personalizes with patients really don't respond well to these sorts of digital interventions. And let's talk a little bit about some of the trends. Obviously, that's one of the key themes here this month in the symposium. But what are some of the key trends that you're seeing in wearable technology and AI that you really think are going to shape the future of health tech marketing, especially for companies like Sensoria?
Right. No, extreme rapid market growth has to be number one. So it's estimated right now that the artificial intelligence market globally is at just around $38 billion. It's projected to be at $260 billion plus by 2032, which shows not only are patients and consumers more acceptable to wearing these devices, but also just leads to lots of innovation and exploration in this space. Number two, I would say, would be personalized medicine, as well as predictive analytics, right? Because if we are able to use wearables to detect diseases earlier, and then hopefully, improve the outcomes as well. And lastly, I would have to say integration with healthcare systems is going to be extremely important. We just heard from the last lady talk about that as well. And that's going to increase and help their workflows at those places, and then just give them more comprehensive patient care.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. So that's really good to see. And I think that also speaks to just how evolved you are on the marketing side of things, which is wonderful.
Thank you.
And so when you look to differentiate smart clothing and any kind of AI-driven product from competitors, what are some of the key elements that you would share with our audience here?
Sure. I love this question because we truly are a differentiated company. So my co-founders, Davide, who you know, our CEO, and Maurizio Meccano, they spent about almost 45 to 50 years combined at Microsoft in different roles. And what you learn when you're at Microsoft is that you build platforms. So Sensoria Health has no desire to just have a single siloed product. But what we did was we created a technology platform, and it's based on this little device here, which is called Sensoria Core. It's a 9-axis IMU, or inertial measurement unit, which means, Dan, that we have an accelerometer, a gyroscope, and a magnetometer, so we can literally see movement in space. One of the products that we launched was our Smart Sock, which is here. So we have embedded textile pressure sensors. They're very thin, they're washable, they're wearable, and this little device communicates wirelessly via Bluetooth. We have our own customized mobile applications, as well as an infrastructure, cloud infrastructure on the Microsoft Azure HIPAA compliant cloud. So when I say we truly are a platform company, we are that. So we use the Sensoria Core device in each of our products, albeit in different form factors, but it's the same technology. So that's how we can rapidly innovate and prototype within 8 to 12 weeks, which I don't think a lot of companies can say that. So that makes us differentiated that way. What makes me get excited every day, right?
No, that's fantastic. And when you look at the future of what you're doing, what are some of the key priorities that you're seeing for marketing and tele-rehab and smart clothing and the like?
Yeah, so again, we need to focus on personalization and data-driven insights. Also, remote care and accessibility. So we want to make healthcare more accessible, especially to underserved populations or in remote areas. And so obviously the adoption of telehealth will help that. And then addressing data privacy and concerns. And how we're going to do that is we'll take a multi-tiered approach, right? So it's creating content, so educational content, both for the consumer and for the professional. We'll also in industry trade shows and conferences to expand our growth and as well as talk about our technologies and present those. We're fortunate to have won a R01 grant with USC Kecksville Medicine, Dr. David Armstrong, arguably the #1 in the diabetic foot ulcer community, as well as Bijan Najafi, arguably the #2, who just took a position with UCLA. So in that 5-year grant from the NIH, we have a dissemination plan. And so that will incorporate both the clinical studies that have been done, poster presentations, talks at different wound care clinics, as well as, so yeah, and of course, engaging social media strategies. So that will always be key for us as well. I think I hit on, and also existing and leveraging strategic partnerships and collaborations to better broaden the reach.
Very incredible. And we've got a few more minutes, and we're getting a lot of questions from the audience on LinkedIn and about the tech stack that you use for marketing. A lot of folks, especially startups, maybe founders that haven't done a lot of marketing before, they're curious about that and they're wondering how that actually works. So tell the audience a little bit about the technologies that you're currently using for things like email campaigns, maybe something for SEO, or maybe something for social media, that sort of tech stack.
Yeah, so great question. We have in the past used different platforms. So we've used HubSpot before for email marketing. We've also done MailChimp in the past. We are working on revamping our website. So right now we need to do a relaunch of the website before we get it more into like SEO and SEM. So so from a company perspective, I'm a one-person marketing department. We also have 2 other people that are on the business side, my VP of Business Development, John Carpenter, and then Davide, our CEO. Everybody else is some type of multidisciplinary engineer. So we're limited in the amount of resources that we can allocate to different marketing platforms. So sorry, no, it's probably not the answer that anybody wanted, but that's the fact of the matter. So
yeah, no, that's pretty common. Yeah, no, we see a lot of that for sure. So, I certainly can understand that. In terms of the future of how you're going to put things together to better market to buyers of either smart clothing or AI or the combination of both. Talk a little bit about that. What does the future of marketing look like based on what you're seeing and how what you're seeing growth on the technology side, but also based on the buying market? Where do you guys see the focus of your marketing efforts going over the next 3 years?
Sure. So we're again a different type of company. So we're actually a B2B to C. So that's business to business, business to consumer. So we have kind of two angles. On the business to business side, we leverage our strategic partners. So for instance, with the diabetic foot boot, we partnered with a company called Defender Ops, and so we can leverage their sales channel and things of that nature. So yeah, so finding buyers so we can go B2C. So a couple of our products, the smart socks, which were originally introduced for runners, are still available on our website today. The Sensoria mat, which is for spinal cord users or just wheelchair users in general, that helps them to remind them to do their pressure relief activities so that they can reduce risk of ulceration. So that's a B2C as well. We could do B2B with our partnerships at Rancho Los Amigos National Rehabilitation Center in Downey, California. So there's lots of ways that we can leverage and go B2B and B2C. We'll do different LinkedIn marketing campaigns, things of that nature as well. So
yeah, no, I could see that that would make a lot of sense. And how much of your budget do you put into SEO, search engine optimization, even for a B2B to C product like yours? It has got to play a role these days, because you want people to see Sensoria when they Google smart clothing or smart socks or whatever it might be. So how much of a budget do you put into SEO versus maybe email campaigns or social media?
Yeah, it's very important. Again, we're trying to revamp our website to be more relevant, and so we don't want to throw a lot of money into something that we will need to rebuild again. So it's minimal right now, but we know that it needs to be a focus.
It's fantastic. And when you look at the actual conference spend for marketing and using, are there AI tools that you're using or any kind of technology that you're using for conferences and for face-to-face meetings, in-person meetings, or are you strictly staying digital and really optimizing your budget?
We're really digital and optimizing budget. Yes.
Yeah, that's smart. That's really smart. Yeah, I think that we're seeing a lot of startups in that way. Well, thank you very much today, Sharlene. Really appreciate your participation. Really just incredible advice for startups that are navigating the tumultuous waters of really lean marketing and just making sure that they can do what they have to do with all the different marketing tools that are out there, and whether it's Hotspot or HubSpot rather, or using Hotspot, or Salesforce or Zoho, and how to do it with either your Gmail, your Google Mail Corporate Enterprise Edition or Microsoft 365 Edition. There's a lot of choices that founders and startups are having to decide on, and getting your guidance here is just absolutely wonderful. So have a great day. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks so much. Feel free, anyone, to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thanks.